Here's why Qortal is the easiest way to get started in Web3, and it requires no technical skills. Let's get into it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go. So the first and most obvious way in which Qortal makes it super easy for you to get started in Web3 is how simple it is to install and create an account. You can install it on something like an Android device, as a Chrome extension, downloading it from the Chrome Web Store, or installing it as a desktop app on any operating system, Windows, Mac, Linux, whichever one. Therefore, in terms of accessibility, Qortal is unmatched, and you could use it pretty much with any device. Furthermore, once you have it installed, creating an account takes as little as 2 minutes and is super straightforward and straight to the point. No need to download any centralized Chrome wallet or save any private keys in 3-4 locations. No, all you need to do is download one JSON file, keep it safe, have a password, and you're done. That's it. So in terms of account creation, super simple on Qortal. Next thing you want to consider is browsing Q apps, which are decentralized apps on Qortal. Once you have Qortal installed, you can access Q apps in one location, the Q apps library. That's it. That's all you need to know. You go there and you can start accessing decentralized apps right away. With other Web3 projects, it's super complicated. The ecosystem is much more spaced out, so much more complicated to know where you have to go once you're in the space, once you have your wallet installed. Another way in which Qortal makes getting started with Web3 super easy is how simple it is to obtain your first Qort. So with other projects, you'll probably need to use a centralized exchange to buy your first Sol or ETH, whatever it may be. Well, with Qortal, you don't need to do that. Just go on our Telegram group or Discord group and ask for some Qort, and we'll be glad to send you your first Qort so you can get started with the platform. That's simple. Furthermore, our welcoming community will be super glad to get you started with Qortal, answering any questions you might have, guiding you in joining your first groups or using your first Q apps, whatever it may be. So in terms of onboarding, once again, Qortal is unmatched in the Web3 space and really helps new users get started on day one. And speaking of not needing any technical skills, if you do choose to run a node eventually to help process transactions on the blockchain, that also is very simple and anybody can do it, even on something as small as a Raspberry Pi. Once again, the process is super simple. All you need is one download, which can be done on any operating system. You run your node and you're done. That's it. You never need to look at it again unless you need to maintain it for whatever reason, if you get too far back in your blocks. But other than that, running a node is as simple as one download and making sure it is synced up and you're done. It's not complex at all. Furthermore, if you're not looking to run a node, then you can start using Qortal on day one using a public node, and there are no restrictions with that. You can start using it right away. So therefore, the barriers of entry are very low for a Web3 project. And lastly, the final reason why Qortal is so easy to get started with is the fact that it's not KYC, know your customer. You can create as many accounts as you want on Qortal without having to give up any personal information. That means that you can get started, retain full privacy, full anonymity, and start using the blockchain on day one like it was supposed to be, meaning without having any personal information surrendered in doing so. This is not the case for most other Web3 projects, where when you create a wallet using the centralized extensions, a lot of them do require you to give up personal information. That is not the case with Qortal. So once again, getting started is super simple with Qortal. Most people can do it. So now's the time to get started. Visit Qortal.dev, install it on your favorite device. See you on Qortal.